You faced the ruler of Barovia, and he took with him the son of the Burgermeister, Ismark Indirovich, leaving you with the woman who he was truly after, Irina Indirovich. After wandering back into town, feeling beaten and tired, the party spent some time at a mercantile shop owned by a man named Bildrath. A horse was purchased and some goods were traded in for gold. A couple gold rings were traded for what Bildrath called in some Zaroviches, as the gold coins depict the Dreadlord you had faced in the graveyard. After your purchases and your dealings with Bildrath, the party had made their way back to the Indirovich Manor, which is where we left off. Irina leads you all through the front gate, which still hangs on a single hinge. It creaks gently in the wind. The sun that hangs invisibly above the clouds, its muted light slowly dimming as it sinks into an invisible horizon. The night slowly approaches, and in the distance you can hear the eerie call of the church bells ringing in the evening, signaling any who might have been adventurous enough to wander from the shelter of their homes during what could be called day in Barovia to quickly return to their homes and seek shelter once more. Before you stands your shelter, the Indirovich Manor. Rooms offered to you by Ismark, the man who has been removed from your party. Kor, your neck aches from where Zarovich sank his fangs into you, and you can feel your body unable to return its strength. The rest of you who faced Strahd's wrath and strength also feel your wounds burning, though perhaps not quite as intensely as Kor's. Isla, you can still feel a pang of almost regret or guilt at having lost your will so easily to the Lord of Barovia. You all now stand before the doors of the manor. However, Richard, you know that your horse Damsel, while leading this new draft horse of yours, stands alone in the stable and carriage house that Ismark had shown to you. And which comes to mind the carriage, calls to mind the carriage that still stands within, though whether or not it's roadworthy hasn't yet been determined. Perhaps there was a reason Ismark said that they had no carriage.
Richard, let's try to get the carriage put together as fast as possible. I believe that Strahd knows that we're here and is not going to give up just after one fight. Let's see if we can prepare ourselves and leave as soon as possible.
Core, uh, I would like everyone to take a brief moment to think really deeply on what we know about vampires and if we could think about any countermeasures um, that we might not have thought of before.
I believe I know a spell or two, Core. Give me a night's rest and I'll be able to prepare something that at least could prevent what happened to Isla happen to anyone else.
Their knowledge of their belief system to find weaknesses for vampires.
Isla kind of skulks a little bit Slowly, she's still very much ashamed of what happened back at the graveyard, and she crosses the threshold of the manor and turns back. I can see what I can draw up and figure out. At least we know that for this evening we'll be safe inside. Vampires cannot cross the threshold unless they are invited. Once we're all inside, we are all as safe as one can hope to be here.
Real quick, we got 3 healing potions last time, right? I haven't added
Yeah.
that to my inventory. Okay, I just gonna add that real quick.
True. You purchased 3 healing.
Kind of after hearing Talandra talk about Von Strahd, he interjects and says, Von Strahd knows all of this land. Let's hold barricade here, rest for the night, and use the morning light as our guide for the dawn.
I read